Okay, and we are officially live, guys. This is, well, pretty much the Pleasure Dome, as you can see behind us.
It's all over for a night. As you can see, there's only two of us, not three this time.
Exactly, two of us, not three.
And the reason is Meta is up there and he's working furiously for Eurohoops Turkey because there's so much to do following Fenerbahce's win earlier this evening. For those of you who don't know, Moshe Barda from Team Scout, Emmett Reiner from Ball in Europe, and we'll be back with, on Sunday, Mete Budak from Eurohoops Turkey. But for now, Moshe, it's the two of us, and there was two big wins tonight, obviously. Olympiacos over Sheshka, Fenerbahce over Real Madrid. Let's start off with the opener. So obviously it was the most typical Billy Spanoulis game in the Final Four possible. So for those of you who might have missed the games, although if you're tuning into this, why? Vasilis Spanoulis had three awful quarters. Then in the fourth quarter, Vasilis Spanoulis did absolutely everything, and once again he was the Undertaker. Sheshka rested in peace. Moshe.
Well, they did put up a fight. You know, they did put up a fight, so we cannot say they rested in peace like, the best way possible. However, the thing is that, well, first of all,
we are in a live room that's being cleared out, as you can tell right now.
Yep, they are making sure that our working environment is cleaner than ever.
Yeah.
But here's the fun part, guys. The fun part is, the fun part is that, well, first of all, before Ceska were doing their thing, kind of, well, they opened strong. They were up by 8, then 9 sometimes. But here's the thing, guys. Olympiacos were crashing the boards. When you're crashing the boards, you're going to get a lot more second chance options. But the balls, they were getting the open looks, they were getting the right shots, but the balls were not going in.
And the big thing that jumped out there, Moshe, was even when Sheshka were really on top in terms of the flow of the game, they never built up a huge lead. They never went so far ahead that you couldn't see Oli reeling them in. And I think that was crucial for Olympiacos. They had a big buzzer beater at the end of the first half to bring it to just a 7-point gap at the end, 4-point gap at the half. 7-point gap at the half. And then at the end of the third, when it looked like Oli had done all the work and got nothing for it, another big buzzer beating 3 to cut it to 4 going into the final frame. And typical Billy, came out, did what Billy does. But Milos did have a shot to win it.
Now, before we're going to take the shot that Milos took, and that was a good shot.
And it was basically right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, first of all, that's how good our seats are for this Final Four. But let's get serious here with this. Well, Milos got the open look. He got a great shot. The ball didn't went in. But the most important thing that when you're looking at a team like Ceska, Milos was their main distributor. Now, when you're taking the best and perhaps maybe only pure point guard kind of in Europe left in the game, and you're making him become a scorer, and every team. And
it was that from the start as well. When they were doing well, that was what they were doing as well.
The balls were going in one after another. Great percentages, great PIR, but still one assist in the entire game for him.
Yeah, and Sheshka just had so few assists overall. And that was the thing. Olympiacos were creating for each other, and that's a huge difference at this level. You need to be able to obviously rely on your stars, but you need to have those stars making for other guys. Even when Spanoulis was having his rough 3 quarters, he still dropped 5 dimes. So he wasn't getting any scores. He couldn't buy a bucket. And then of course, we were waiting, and then it finally came.
Whoops! There it is.
There it is.
Exactly.
Night Sheshka. Sheshka did put up a decent fight after that, but you could feel it in the building. It was oh, you've done it again. Really. So Oli, obviously, vintage Oli in terms of the style, really, Moshe.
We gotta ask, seriously yet again, though. Come on, what would have happened if Olympiacos would have made it? If Printezis was not hurt for the last 2 games of the regular season, what would have happened if they would have made it to the playoffs and then to the Final Four? What would have happened if they were to meet not Kuban in the semifinals, but Olympiacos?
Last year.
Yep, exactly.
But Oli were terrible last year.
No, but still, we got to ask this. This is a legit question because whenever they're getting to the Final Four, this is a different Oli.
True. But I think Barca would have taken them in a series last year, so I'm glad Kuban got it. And also Loco were great. So that was basically the first game. And of course, this place during that game, the interesting thing with the noise was most of the chants weren't for Oli, and they certainly weren't for Sheshka. They were for a team that wasn't even on the floor. Fenerbahce had yet to, it was still an hour from tip, and the place was full of Fenerbahce chants. The place, I'm sure you all saw when you were watching earlier, it was just full of yellow, Moshe. That crowd was something else tonight for Fenerbahce.
It sure was. I think it made a difference because whenever Real showed that they are getting their stride back, getting back into a mini comeback inside the game, it ended right there and then. We got to hand it to Coach Zag because he was ready for each and every play of his playbook. We saw Sergio Yui getting. You know what? I do not remember when Sergio Super Yui for us was so exhausted.
Well, he was doing all the scoring. That was the problem. He had to create for himself. He was creating his own shot over. And like it wasn't like he wasn't making assists. He had a few.
He was getting beat up like
But
throughout
he
the
had
game. That's
to.
the thing. No, but that's what I'm saying. So maybe in the first year that we're seeing obviously that Chacha was not there, and we were discussing it exactly that actually in Sweet 16 in previous episodes just before the teams made it to the Final Four. We all thought, everyone said at the beginning of the season, Madrid are going to be a bit weaker than what they were because, now there's no point guard. They have a combo at the point position, and Doncic, might be still young, had a tremendous season. And you know what? If we're getting Doncic 1 year from now in the Final Four, perhaps completely different story.
But of course, Mete said in the earlier show that it's a bit wary to put such responsibility on young shoulders. And the two old guys in this show didn't think that much of it. So it shows that the 23-year-old can outsmart us sometimes.
Yeah.
But looking at the other parts of that performance, like who else came up, who else came good. We're going to get to the obvious star of the show in a moment. But I've got to say, this is the best F4 performance I've seen from Jan Vesely ever. He came out like a house of fire, and he just, he was there to play. He was lit. And he's not had a really good Final Four game to now. He was playing a bit hurt last year. He was playing with character last year, but he wasn't playing his best game because he was playing a bit hurt. This year, he's a healthy Jan Vesely. He's got a good Fenner team, and he wanted to kick some ass.
And did he kick some ass tonight?
He did.
Now, the one thing that I do like about Vesely is that whenever he gets a dunk, you see this entire place gets lit up. And when you entice your audience in a good way to get them into the game, this is something you want to do. You want that kind of player in your team. Now, regardless of Vesely, we've seen great performance, I would say, by Kalinic as well, who gave...
And again, it was a quietly good performance by Kalinic. It's another one that's going to go under the radar.
Exactly. One that was all over the radar,
Exactly,
it was like a Christmas tree, was none other than Ekpe Udoh. Now, we were wondering what he could do versus 5 or 6 guys that can play both the 4 and the 5. Now, to be honest,
it turns out what he can do is beat the living holy hell out of them.
The question is, I do not remember Reyes all of a sudden, but still, it wouldn't matter because Ekpe tonight was in a world of his own.
He came very close to the first ever Final Four triple-double. He came close to the first triple-double in EuroLeague at any level in 10 years. It just says how the unique characteristics of our game that we don't see triple-doubles that often.
Well, for the Maccabi fans, we can say that it was Nikola Vujicic who did exactly that.
Both of the last two, in fact, and while in Maccabi jersey both times. But let's talk about Ekpe Udoh, because Ekpe Udoh, deep threat Ekpe, isn't something we've seen much of. We all knew he sort of liked to take long shots, but he didn't actually do it. In a Fenner jersey,
you give him the open look. Why not take it? It's a good shot. I mean, it's not like going off the dribble doing something he cannot do.
The reaction here when that happened, because they're kind of going, "There's no way we can lose if Ekpe's dropping a 3." That was the thing. He had a couple of key plays towards the end there. When it was in the closing stage and Fenner needed to close it out, he had that sort of, when Madrid had their last fight back, really, he made a mid-range jumper, that sort of, short-range jumper, really, to get it in. And then he had the alley-oop dunk off that as well, and that was basically the closer. Madrid did get back within about 7-8 points again, but they never looked like they were going to get it down to 2 possessions.
No, listen, the moment I felt it was done was when Kostas Lukas, from that farther corner, taking that falling down two-pointer.
The long two that made it 15 at that stage.
I thought to myself, that's it. Let's go. How they said, let's go home. Let's go home. Come on, it was done.
It was the go-home signal for sure.
Exactly.
And we're not far off from our own going-home signal as well here, because we're going to get booted out of the arena pretty shortly.
Yeah, but we do have to mention this. Ollie is a different story. Now, we're not going to give you our preview.
We're not doing a preview now, not least because we haven't got Mete.
Yeah, for sure. But what we can say...
Only over there.
Yeah, we're going to shout out for both Mete and Nikos Vargas from Eurohoops over
there.
Yeah,
Nikos as well, who's been a great help for us this weekend. The whole Eurohoops crew has been great.
Yeah,
because, Team Scout and Ball in Europe on site here is a one-person cruise. So having, the Eurohoops guys to help us out, is really useful.
And they are having lots and lots and lots of surprises for their readers, viewers, everyone. So
do we, by the way.
Exactly.
So do we. Ball in Europe and Team Scout do come to our sites. But before we do our sign-offs, and we're not going to do predictions, before we get to the Oli thing, I want to mention one thing which jumped out to me from this game.
The 36 minutes of Ekpe Udoh?
No, one other thing, which was Bogdan Bogdanovic didn't have to be Super Bogdan tonight, and they still won. That, to me, is the scariest part of it all.
The question is, when you have Kill Bill, forging in his room back at the hotel, a few Hattori Hanzo swords, what's going to happen?
Well, folded steel, if you know correctly, is actually quite low quality steel, and so.
Yeah, but the Hattori Hanzo sword, this is
Hattori
the
Hanzo
sword.
sword is still folded steel, if you know your samurai swords, Moshe. I've been deliberately not saying this to him all day so I could get him when he said it on air. So I think that, a good clean strike can break them. Now, I'm not saying it's going to win it, by the way, not at all, but I'm saying is Bogdan can definitely live with Billy. I think that's going to be a great battle, especially because Bogdan knows he wasn't Super Bogdan tonight. Billy knows he has a lot more in him than what he delivered tonight, even though he had his usual fourth quarter special. I think those two against each other on Sunday is going to be so much fun.
Well, for me, there's just one thing more than that. I think that for the first time since V-Span left Coach Obradovic, we're going to see both of them in a final game.
And they get along very well. They
But-
go for tea and occasionally play poker.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact, they go on visits to vineyards together. All of these are verifiable facts. All of them, without
By the
question.
way, from what I've heard, perhaps, V-Span, Kill Bill Billy's gonna bring for the holidays. He's gonna visit Doc at his home with Kill Bill sword. So I don't know. I'm just saying.
Maybe.
Could be not.
Let's not accuse guys of potentially aggravated assault and or
No,
murder.
not as gifts.
As gifts. Yes. Mafia-style gifts.
Firstly, again.
But to wrap it up, so we're going to be back on Sunday with our pre-game show. We're aiming for midday. Hangover dependent. There's a good chance it'll be nearer 1 p.m. That's Turkish time, by the way, folks. So CET, you're talking 11. Irish time, you're talking 10, etc., etc. So we'll obviously be tweeting a lot between now and then. We've got lots of content up on our stuff as well. Moshe's doing so many live videos as well. I'm doing lots of stuff on the YouTube. Eurohoops are doing just everything, basically. So
they are pretty much everything. There isn't a single. To be honest, I do not remember a single corner when there was not a single Eurohoops rap pending. It's like, wow.
It's been great. And I also just shout out for a couple of the other sites who are covering here, because High News, Dave Hine is live commentary on the ANGT.
He's doing amazing
job. So tune into the ANGT
exactly.
on YouTube and give Dave some love in the comments on that. Be nice in the comments on YouTube
and
to him.
show the love to us also.
And show the love to us also. And also to our buddy Savash Burdal, who is a Fenner fan but is on neutral duty. He's covering for EuroLeague Adventures. So shout out to him. But so to find all of us though, Eurohoops first, because they're not here literally now. So Eurohoops you'll find obviously at Eurohoops.net, EuroHoopsNet on Twitter, and Eurohoops TV on YouTube, and obviously EuroHoopsNet Facebook, and all the other Eurohoops. Most are where we find Team Scout.
Well, always Moses B1 on Twitter. I'm Team Scout on Twitter, and Team Scout on Facebook and the website itself. But I really want to say this, Aris. We know you're out there. Exactly. We miss you. We know you're Greece. Love you. Feel it.
And just a quick note, and as always, ballineurope.com is the main source for coverage this weekend, but all of our videos are youtube.com/user/ballineurope. Go there. We are doing so many videos.
Oh, great videos, by the way. Great videos.
Thanks. But that's a wrap from the Final Four Day 1, and we only have one game to go. No, the third place game doesn't count. Good night.
Before that, I want to say one more thing. I do know there is a group of people watching us, watching our every move, so to you guys from all the groups, whether it's on Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever, thank you so much for tuning in, and just make sure you subscribe as usual, follow us, spread the love, whatever.
Let everybody know about the show.
Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Good night. Wait, we're still on? Now we're not.
Okay, we're still on.
Okay, YouTubers, so here's the thing. We're gonna do live rapping in 3, 2, 1, go!